Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Between Summer Game Fest, Steam Next Fest, and all of these amazing events, I have added so many cozy and indie games to my wish list. It's actually wild. And because I just can't keep it to myself, I am going to share off over 25 cozy and indie games that you should have on your radar. This is going to be a pretty rapid fire list. I'll give you a little bit of information about each game as we go, and you can also check down in the description for links if you want to go and take a closer look at any of these games yourself. Okay, let's get started. The first game that I'm really excited about is The Crush House. In this game, you play as the producer of a hit reality series, and it's your job to select the contestants and then film their goings-on as they're in the show. Each day you have to appeal to the viewers, and you have to make sure and hit all of the approval ratings for the different groups of people that are watching your show, but not all is as it seems. Over time, you start to get the feeling that there is something a little bit more sinister going on with the show, and you go on a little adventure to figure out just what that is. Neva is from the creator of the game Grease, and this is an absolutely gorgeous game. It is an emotionally charged action-adventure game about a young woman named Alba who is bound to a curious wolf cub following a traumatic encounter with dark forces. Together, they go on a perilous journey through a once beautiful world as it slowly decays around them. As you play, your relationship with your wolf grows as you learn more about how to work together. This game is so gorgeous, and if it's anything like Grease, it is going to completely change your life. Wanderstop is a narrative-centric cozy game about change and tea. So you play as Alta. She is a former fighter, and you have to manage a tea shop in a magical forest and tend to the customers that pass through. So you have a lot of management tasks that you do, like growing and harvesting the ingredients, mixing them together, making the tea, talking to the travelers that come through the shop, learning their stories, and figuring out which tea is right for them. But what's really interesting about this game is that Alta actually doesn't want to be there. The end of the trailer seems to indicate that there's a little bit more going on behind the scenes than we are initially led to believe. And because this game is from the creators of the Stanley Parable and the co-creator of Gone Home, I definitely feel like this is going to be a very emotionally charged and interesting game. Time is Honey is a cozy idle game all about collecting bees. So you get packs, you open them up, you collect different types of bees, and you have to care for them. Each bee has its own unique charm, and it contributes to your honey production. You unlock new varieties of bees, you get to customize them, and you get to unlock and strategically upgrade your hives in order to complete your collection with every type of bee that there is, including some very special golden variants. I love a cozy little idle game, and this one is so cute. I'm always gonna be down for anything that has to do with bees, if I'm being honest. Seeing this pop up at Summer Game Fest was a huge surprise. Civilization 7 is in the works. This is the 7th game in the Civilization franchise. In this game, you rule as one of many legendary leaders from throughout history. You establish your civilization, construct cities and architectural wonders to expand your territory. You can conquer or choose to cooperate with rival civilizations while you pursue prosperity and explore the far reaches of the unknown world. It's all about building an empire that can stand the test of time. Dear and Boy is a poetic cinematic platformer where you follow the journey of a boy who, after a tragic event, decides to escape his own fate of reality. In his runaway attempt, he meets a fawn who has also experienced loss, and as they journey, the fawn will grow up and become an essential and protective companion for the boy on their journey. As you play, you solve puzzles and avoid the enemies that are standing in your way, and the friendship between the deer and the boy will continue to grow stronger after each and every pitfall, and it will push them to develop new and increasingly diverse skills. While Waiting is a game about exploring the art of waiting. You'll be presented with a lot of different life scenarios that involve waiting for the rain to pass, waiting in line. You get to choose how you interact with these scenarios, so you can choose to literally just sit there and wait, i.e. stare at the screen and wait for the situation to pass, or there are little Easter eggs and little things that you can do as you interact in the world. And having played the demo of this one, it appears on the surface to be a very kind of comedic and funny and cute game, but it's actually really meaningful, and it says a lot about what it's like to be a human experiencing these very real and boring everyday situations. Building relationships is freaking hilarious. In this game, you play as a house on a date. It's a silly little adventure game. You get to meet a lot of eccentric structures. You get to romance eligible Bachelor expats, which are other buildings, and you uncover the meaning of life. Or you could just kind of roll around, dash around, and do whatever you want, including fishing, except for fishing in this game is fishing for cars, which is absolutely hilarious. There's a lot of different biomes on this island that you could explore. There's treasure to find. It's actually wild. The developer of this game has said that it's, quote, a short hike but stupid. And I got a chance to talk with him at Summer Game Fest, where he told me that it is just the embodiment of his 2 a.m., 3 a.m. thoughts, which is amazing. Vampire Therapist is a narrative adventure visual novel type game that was inspired by What We Do in the Shadows, the horror works of Mel Brooks, Monty Python, and Horrible Histories. In this game, you play as a reformed vampire who is on a quest to help other vampires find their inner peace. So you play as Sam, who is this Wild West gunslinger cowboy vampire, and he escapes his life of day-to-day murder and mayhem. He teams up with another vampire that's living in Europe who is a therapist and teaches him a lot about what it means to be a therapist. I think this is really interesting because it actually teaches you real therapy concepts, and they've worked with licensed therapists to make sure that things are accurate. It's a pretty funny game, and you get to kind of look through history because there's a lot of different vampires from different points of time that you get to interact with, and it has an amazing voice cast, including some folks from Hades, some folks from Gone Home, Matt Mercer from Critical Role, Baldur's Gate 3, and 1,000 million other things. This one is really interesting and really unique and fun. Afterlove EP is a visual novel slash narrative adventure slash rhythm game that comes from the creator of Coffee Talk and What Comes After. In this game, you play as Rama. He is a young musician that's struggling to move on with life after the death of his girlfriend, Cinta. His close friends and bandmates are determined to help him move on, but Rama is kind of stuck. He's neglecting his music, he's neglecting his mental health and his relationships. Plus, he starts to hear Cinta's voice inside of his head, and he's not sure if she's a spirit or if she's part of his imagination. And so you play as Rama, kind of putting the pieces of his life back together. It takes place over the course of 28 days and nights, and you really get to choose a lot about the path that Rama takes. You explore the city, you choose which relationships you want to repair, if there's any new ones that you pursue, you come to terms with the past, you rediscover yourself, and you help Rama shape a future. Cozy Grove Camp Spirit is the sequel to Cozy Grove. You play as a spirit scout on a haunted island, and if you've played the original Cozy Grove, this game is going to be really similar to it. You befriend and assist a bunch of troubled ghostly bears on the island. You get to know them. This sequel in particular adds some new bears. It has a new storyline and a couple new features, like you get to have little pets, which are really cute. If you loved Cozy Grove, this one is going to be great for you. Arranger is a puzzle adventure game that follows the story of Gemma. She's a small town misfit on a journey of self-discovery. Gemma lives in a town that is fearful of going out into the outside world because of some unknown dangers. However, she is determined to go out and explore what's out there. The gameplay on this one is super interesting. It takes place on an interconnected grid that spans the entire world, and so you have to move along the grid, and as you move along the grid, you'll move things around. So it has cool puzzles, but it's also a beautiful story-driven adventure. I met the developers for this game, and they are super nice. Harmonium is an interactive sign language musical adventure narrative game that is about Melody Mikado. She's an energetic 10-year-old Filipina-American musician who becomes deaf at a young age. She has a debut show coming up, and she is determined to create a new type of music that can be felt, seen, and is accessible to her friends. She gets pulled into a musical and visual wonderland called Harmonium, and in order to make it home in time for her big show, she has to face cacophony, which is an all-consuming force that can only be defeated with a masterpiece symphony. The gameplay on this one is so innovative and unique. It incorporates American Sign Language and allows the player to communicate through body language, hand shapes, and gestures. This game was made by a team full of members from the deaf community, and accessibility design has been baked into the game from the start. It features a visual language for music, it has animated subtitles for the musical numbers, a lot of customizable captions, UI controls, and even more amazing accessibility features. And just like the previous game, I got to meet the dev team for this game, and they are just amazing. Winter Burrow is a cozy woodland survival game where you play as a mouse who's coming back from the big city to their childhood burrow, but when they get there, they realize that it's in ruins and your aunt, who is supposed to be looking after it, has gone missing. So it's up to you to restore the burrow and figure out what happened to your aunt. So this is a survival game. You have to brave the elements. You journey out into the frozen wilderness to collect the resources that you need for yourself and for your home. There's hostile wildlife out there, but there are also friends to meet. And what I really love is that they have specifically said that this is a survival game that you play at your own pace. So it doesn't have to be a really stressful experience like some survival games are. You also get to customize your character, you get to decorate, you choose a path that fits your own personal play style. It's so cute. It looks like a storybook. Catffee Time is a cat cafe management game. At night, you go out and you rescue stray cats in the suburbs, and then during the day, you run your cafe. So you decorate, you stock up, you serve food, and you use the cats that you've collected to boost your rating, and you also get to breed the cats and create special breeds for competitions. When you run the cafe, you get to combine different ingredients to create a lot of different types of food and beverages, and while you're doing all of that, you have to care for your cats to make sure that they stay in a good mood, and that can also boost your cafe rating as well. Love a good management game. Reka is a crafting, base building, and exploration game where you play as an apprentice to the legendary witch Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga walks you through the process of summoning your own iconic chicken-legged cottage, and with your house, you venture through the beautiful scenic world. You get to build and decorate your house. You get to actually maneuver it around the world. On your journey, you do a lot of exploration, so you can discover and tame wildlife to join you on your adventure. You discover settlements, and there you can accept quests, and you can actually choose whether you want to help the local villagers or if you want to actually do things to hinder the villagers, so you can kind of choose what type of witch you'll be. There's also character creation, which is really good, and honestly, this game is just such a vibe. The ambiance and the aesthetics are really something else. Tiny Bookshop is a management game about running a tiny bookshop by the sea. So you stock up the bookshop with different books and items, you set up shop in a variety of different locations, and you run your secondhand bookshop while getting to know the locals. You can decorate your bookshop with little things that you collect. There's also a really cool recommendation system where people will come in and they'll ask for recommendations, and you get to choose books from your stock that you think will fit what the person will like. As you're stocking your books, you have to think about the tastes of the locals, what genres they like. So you have to kind of get to know the people in the different locations to figure out just the right combination of genres. Tiny Glade is a relaxing, freeform building game. There's no management, no combat, no wrong answers. The developers say that this game is basically like doodling. I've played the demo for this for like hours, and the building feels so good. It's so intuitive, and even if you don't think that you're good at building, I promise you this game is like building with training wheels in the best possible way. It's really easy to make gorgeous scenes. It's so chill, so relaxing. The sounds are like beautiful ASMR, and there's little sheep that you can pet, which is amazing. Critter Cove is a combination life sim and town builder game where you arrive in the town of Critter Cove, which used to attract visitors from all over the world, but now it's really dirty and run down, and it's up to you to turn things around. You earn money, and then you use that money to upgrade buildings and explore the world, to discover new blueprints and gather resources to grow the town even more. As you're upgrading the town, you're boosting the tourist rating, and the greater the tourist rating, the more new tourists will visit, which will then get you more money to do more upgrades, and that's the basic gameplay loop. It also reminds me a little bit of Animal Crossing in that you can get villagers to come, and there's a lot of different ones that you can possibly have. You can build your relationships with them, you can make clothes for them, and the character customization in this game is wild. You can be a human, or you can be all sorts of different animals, or you can be a combination of a bunch of different animals. It is really, really cool. Amber Isle is a shop management and social sim set in the quaint, friendly world of prehistoric animal islanders called Paleofolk. You drop in on this rundown town, and they only have one shop, and it becomes your job to gather, craft, and sell items to meet the needs of your diverse Paleofolk customers. You unlock different recipes, and you also get to know your customers because different different customers have different needs and behaviors and preferences. You also can customize your shop by unlocking new shop decor, walls, floors, and more. And as you grow your shop, you can also rebuild the rundown island. You unlock new areas, new paths, new foliage to make Amber Isle an attractive destination. This game also has a surprisingly amazing customer creator, especially the clothes. It's like cottagecore dinosaurs. I kid you not. I was completely blown away by that. Love Ghostie is a game about being a wholesome ghost matchmaker. You as a ghost are assigned to a manor, and the manor has a lot of different residents. It's your job to grow the relationships between the different residents. You can give the residents different gifts, but you're doing it as another resident, and by doing that, you will build up their relationships. There are so many cute romances, and each pair of residents has a completely unique story. You can create any romance you want. Every resident is shippable with every other resident. You learn about the residents' unique personalities. You lift their spirits by giving them fun tasks and decorating their rooms. It's so cute. This game is very charming. It is very funny and well written. I love it. Farewell North is an atmospheric journey where you play as a border collie on an adventure with your human. You explore and help the young woman recover the memories of her life, and you uncover the mystery of why the world is colorless. There's unique challenges and environmental puzzles, and as you go through, you also unravel an original story about overcoming loss and saying farewell. There's so much exploration and discovery and a sense of wonder. The atmosphere is just absolutely stunning. When I was playing this, it was very much giving Journey. It was very much giving Grease. So if you like those games, I think this is going to be an amazing game for you to check out. Ova Magica is like Stardew Valley meets Pokemon. It's a wholesome JRPG farm game inspired by the classics, where you train cute blob creatures, take care of your farm, and make friends with the people of Clover Town. You're doing your basics of farming, getting to know the townspeople, there's romance, but then you also find out that there are these little things called blobs. Blobs are super cute little creatures that hatch from eggs, and you can raise them, you treat them with care, and then they become your companions. There's a lot of different varieties, and then you can also breed them to create new cross varieties. And the blobs also have a battle system a la Pokemon, where you can train them to fight, and you can go face off against rival blob trainers, and you can also get them to help you out around the farm. Fields of Mistria is a spiritual successor to the farm sim RPGs of the late 90s and onward. The art style on this one is also giving 90s anime, which I think is so amazing. Mistria is an idyllic village, and they have offered you an overgrown but full of potential homestead in exchange for your assistance restoring the town to its former glory after an earthquake wreaks havoc and strange magic begins to flow through the land. So you can customize your character, you can customize your home and your farm, you do all of the awesome classic farm sim stuff that we love: farming, fishing, mining, crafting. There's also 12 different marriage candidates, and there's magic that you can unlock that will aid you during your farming and your adventuring. I think this one is so cute, just like your classic farm sim, plus magic, plus a really cool art style and an awesome color palette. I love the like pastel girly pop color palette of this one. It looks so awesome. Very excited. Tavern Talk is a cozy visual novel about running a tavern in a D&D inspired fantasy. So if you want cozy Baldur's Gate 3 mixed with a little bit of coffee talk, this game is going to be perfect for you. Adventurers will come to your tavern and they will tell you their stories, and they will ask you for magical drinks. The drinks are kind of like potions, and you can make different ones that will boost their stats depending on what they need for their adventures. You also get to kind of collect rumors, and as you collect rumors about different goings on, eventually you'll be able to put those together into quests, and you can send out the people that come to your tavern on these quests, and that is how you progress the story. The game has a very colorful cast of characters inspired by TTRPGs. It's very much giving found family. So if you want cozy BG3, if you want coffee talk, if you want Legends and Lattes vibes, then this game is for you, and it comes out very, 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 very soon. on June 20th. Fantastic Haven is a management game about saving fantasy creatures. So this takes place in a world where magic is gradually disappearing in favor of technological advances that threaten the balance of nature. And so you're trying to restore that balance by saving the fantasy creatures while using diplomacy and teaching to convince people to live in harmony with them. So you choose your starting point and you build the basic infrastructures that you need to unlock new research, new buildings that will let you welcome even more creatures into your refuge. Over time, you will get to release creatures back into the wild, and every new creature that you release helps restore magic and stabilize the balance of the world. Once the magic has been fully restored in a region, your mission is complete, and then you can go start over in a new area. Mythmatch is a community building sim set in Greek mythology. You match items to transform them, and then you also get to match people to unite them. Your job is to rebuild Ithaca, create cute creatures, and defy the gods. You work with mortals to gather resources, craft materials, and build a new Ithaca that works for them. The more that you help them, the more belief you will earn, which will in turn make you more powerful, and you get to choose how you use the power. You rebuild the community, you discover how mortals really live, you can help settle disputes, recruit new islanders, or even babysit so that they can go work. So it's all about the complexities of life in the mortal realm and you as a god doing what you can to help. So many amazing games coming out. Please tell me in the comments which one of these you are most excited about, or have you played any demos of these already? And if so, what did you think? Or let me know any other cozy games that are coming out that I didn't include on this list that you think people should have on their radar. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see me playing a bunch of different cozy games, you can check me out on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Laylindria. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you never miss a video from me. I hope you have an amazing, cozy day today, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!